Welcome to What the Wrestling, the podcast where you break down the biggest moments, hottest takes, and the wildest stories from the world of pro wrestling. Whether you're a diehard fan or just stepping into the squared circle, we're here to give you the real scoop on everything happening in the ring.
I'm your host, RJD, and we're about to take a ride through the latest and greatest in pro wrestling. Get ready for all our hot takes, deep dives, and all the wrestling you never knew you needed.
Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join What the Wrestling family so you never miss an episode. Now let's step into the ring.
You're listening to the
Oh, you already know what time it is. WWE, everybody. SummerSlam has come and gone. Man, oh man, what a SummerSlam it was, or what a SummerSlam ending it was. And I got a lot to get into. We got night one, we got night two. Gonna start off with night two first. Why? Because it's fresh on our minds. But we are going to work counterclockwise today. I didn't want to do a night one review. I just wanted to wait and do it all at once and give my whole thoughts. So we might be in for a long show today because we're going to break it all the way down. So hit the like button. Hit the like button, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. What's the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Also, follow me, RJD, on X at RJ699. Man, oh man. Listen, y'all. We're gonna start all the way at the bottom. We're gonna start with the main event. First of all, let's talk overall. SummerSlam night two. SummerSlam night one was a B show for me. SummerSlam night two, because of the main event, was a B show for me. If we had condensed SummerSlam into 8 or 9 of these most important matches, then I think it would have been a absolutely fantastic show. A++, probably one of the best SummerSlams we've ever seen. But capitalism. So what's going to happen is you're going to see a 2-night everything probably from now on. TKO, they're a company, a corporation, and like any corporation, they want to make money. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And what's happening is they had, the attendance, 53,000 people one night, 60,000 people the next night, roughly. So they had about 113,000 people in 2 nights. Now, why, if you can get double the money and you have the talent to pull it off, and all things considered, both shows were decent. Both shows were good. They weren't like bad. I mean, like I said, the main event kind of cleaned up night two. And the most important part, those astronomical prices the people are going to pay. If they're going to pay, what's to say we don't have a 2-night Royal Rumble? where instead of putting the ladies on one, the men on the other, you put the lady. I mean, instead of putting them both on the same show, you start with the ladies and with the men. Why not just have both shows and build around both shows? Royal Rumbles are about an hour long anyway, so that's an hour. You can make the show 3 hours, 7 to 10. Bam, done. 7 to 10:30. If you want to add commercials and filler and all of that, done. So Royal Rumble's going to be 2 days. It's coming. I bet you they're trying to figure out how to do it. SummerSlam's 2 days. The WrestleMania of the summer. Biggest party of the summer. WrestleMania itself. 2 days. They getting cashed out. Now, let's move on to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's back, everybody. Legitimately was on my couch and said, oh shit, Brock is back. Now, there was a lot that I said, oh shit, about on this show, especially in that car crash, that amazing, beautiful, destructive car crash known as a TLC match. But Brock Lesnar's back, and they have canceled the media scrums after the fact. So they're no longer doing that. And why? Most likely because they know, as we get into SummerSlam here, most likely they know people are going to ask us questions about this crap. And we don't want to answer questions about this crap. So what crap, you might say? I'll tell you. The Janelle Grant lawsuit. They're going to have to answer questions about that. We know this. They know this. And the questions that they've been asked, when asked about Brock and asked about Vince and all this other stuff, the Vince stuff has been all right, but they've been having some bad answers. And at the end of the day, they're going to have to address this eventually. And if you don't know, or if you were living under a rock, you know, or if you haven't been living under a rock, you know Janelle Grant had a lawsuit against WWE and Vince McMahon, not just Vince. So in the lawsuit, go read it, go look it up. Not going to repeat a lot of that stuff here, but allegedly Vince had told Brock, hey, we got this pretty little thing for you. And I'm paraphrasing, and this is alleged. None of this is confirmed. So don't go taking stuff out of context. Excuse my voice. I've been yelling all weekend, so we're gonna get through this. But allegedly, he said, "Yo, we got this pretty young thing. Come up and meet her." And he tried to use her allegedly as a sex object, a sex thing, a prostitute, if you will. Hey, come up here and resign, and I'll give you her. Now, they never actually met up, and at first, it was named as a UFC fighter who was a former UFC fighter, mixed martial artist. And then it came out after everything got to court. It came out that it was Brock Lesnar, but everybody pretty much knew that. Cool. But that is the alleged stuff that happened with Brock. And, you know, there were texts exchanged and all this other stuff. And it's just a bad look on the company. That's why Vince is no longer there. And that's why they removed Brock from everything. Brock was supposed to fight Gunther, but they removed him from everything once this crap happened. So they washed their hands of it. Now, at the end of the day, it's a bad look for the company, and the company doesn't need Brock Lesnar. WWE doesn't need Brock Lesnar anymore. But is there money to be made with Brock? Yeah. Is there money to be made with him fighting new people? Maybe Gunther. Who else has he never fought? He's never fought Gunther. He's never fought a couple of other people. Jacob Fatu. You know, so are there other people for him to work with and it will be decent? Yes, absolutely. Are they going to do it? Probably. Why? Because they see money. They see money in it. Now, morally, morally, is it right or is it wrong? Listen, that's for you to decide. If you think it's right, you're right. If you think it's wrong, you're wrong. It is what it is. They brought him back. The crowd didn't seem to care. The crowd was like, oh, shit, Brock Lesnar. Even me on my couch. I was like, oh, shit. So morally, people are going to be upset with this. And we understand. We understand why. But WWE, TKO thought, you know what? Enough time has passed. He was a part of this, but he wasn't really a part of it. Whatever their reasoning, they decided to do this. This is what they're going to do. We must move on. But there's going to be a lot of people that are mad about this. And I understand. I understand completely. It's like, yo, he was involved in some scandalous shit. But TKO is trying to make a profit, and they think they can make money with him. So they brought him back. So at the end of the day, they don't need Brock Lesnar, but they want Brock Lesnar. So at the end of an amazing main event that we're going to get into, Brock Lesnar came out. Cody Rhodes, obviously, we all know Cody Rhodes won. Okay, cool. I'll get into that in a minute. But let's talk about Brock first. So Cody Rhodes won. And at the end of the match, they had a conversation. He was like, I think he said sorry about that last cutter or something like that, or whatever. Thank you for everything. I can't read lips, but I know he said thank you for everything. They had a conversation. It was between them. He took his title. He gave him the ring. Everybody was showering Cena with praise and claps and love and all of that. And then it's quiet. You don't know what's going to happen. And then Brock Lesnar, his music hits, and it's like, oh, shit. And the pop for Brock was massive. It is over 9,000. And at the end of the day, we understand what happened. And we got to do what we got to do, and we got to move on. So Brock comes out. Everybody loses their mind. Brock comes down to the front, takes his sweet-ass time. We got Cowboy Brock, bearded Brock, ponytail in the back Brock, comes around, takes his shirt off, finally gets to the ring, circles it like a shark, circling his prey, gets in there, ducks a lariat, picks him up, F5, and that was it. And Brock is out of there. And that is how we went off the air. So, man, Brock is back, everybody, and it looks like we're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned dust-up at the next pay-per-view. Now, I read somewhere that John Cena's got 9 dates left, and he's got 3 PLEs left. Holy shit. John Cena is definitely, listen, it's about to be over, y'all. John, it's about to be over. It's crazy. John Cena in this match was incredible. Now, this is taking nothing away from the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was great, but John Cena, this was about John Cena. This was about him coming back as John Cena, the person who's not trying to kill wrestling now. And this match was fantastic, y'all. I had a fun time watching this match. This John Cena, man, we haven't seen this John Cena in a shit long time. We haven't seen this guy in a long time. He didn't look like he lost a step. He didn't look winded. He didn't look tired. He didn't look gassed. He was hitting moves that I haven't seen him hit since he fought The Rock. And when was that? 10 years ago? 10 years ago now? Something like that? When they had their once in a lifetime that turned into twice in a lifetime. Like John Cena, and I said it, I was talking to my wife, and I was like, man, John Cena got his working boots on tonight. God damn, this brother is working hard. Not that he didn't work hard before. We're not going to sit on here and disrespect John Cena. But I was just like, wow. Like, even he said it. He went on the Breakfast Club, and he's like, listen, I don't want to be a shell of myself. I know when you've lost a step, and I figured out I lost a step. So I said, you know what? This is it. This is my last hurrah. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said on the Breakfast Club. He knew he had lost a step, so he said, I know I lost a step. Not going to embarrass myself. I'm done. But he left it all out there today. I guess he was like, yo, this is my last SummerSlam. I'm going to train the way I need to train. I'm going to do what I need to do. And understand, John Cena's doing movies, right? He's doing shows. He's making a lot of money. He's busy. Like, he's married now, if I'm not mistaken. He's doing a lot. He don't got to wrestle no more. John Cena doesn't have to wrestle. He doesn't have to put his body through what he put his body through for us last night. So I respect it because he brought out he brought out a lot of moves. So they opened up with Cena. They opened up with Cody with a Dusty Rhodes promo, and they kind of spliced them together. The view doesn't change, baby. The view doesn't change, baby. Shout out to Dusty, man. Rest in peace. So then Cody comes up, badass entrance with the mask, comes up. Whoa, everybody going crazy, pyro. Then we have John Cena, and I was like, well, I know John Cena's back. He's not trying to ruin wrestling anymore. I'm like, is he going to come out or is he going to flip it? And he comes out with the pitch black, and then as soon as that comes out, they put the colors back up there. John Cena comes out with the title in the front. He's going crazy. Everybody's going crazy. Then he does the sprint. Everybody's like, oh, he's sprinting. It kind of reminded me of when Okada started wearing the pants in New Japan. And then when Okada took the pants off and he came back out in the tights, and the New Japan crowd, they don't really go crazy for a lot until like the match gets going and stuff. Man, he took them pants off and he had the tights, and the crowd was like, oh my God, Okada's back. It's the same thing. It's like everybody was going crazy. So Cena goes in there. The champ is here. Alicia Taylor, awesome entrances. And honestly, this match was 100,000 times better than their WrestleMania match. This is the match they should have had at WrestleMania if it wasn't for, Travis Scott and all this other bull jive that came out because they didn't have any plan. But this is the match. These two guys said, this is the shit we should have did at Mania. We're going to shut it down tonight. And we shut it down. And that's what they did. They shut it down. Now, I'm going to slide through this, and there was a lot that happened. So we're going to slide up where Cena hit a code red on the outside. So it was some funny stuff in the beginning with Cody. Cena was doing his thing, and then Cody did his thing. And Cena took a crutch from Indiana Pacers star Therese Halliburton, who got booed mercilessly by the New York, New Jersey crowd. Hopefully he gets better, though. Respect to him. We know I think he tore his ACL. So hopefully he gets better. We never want to wish anybody ill will. Get better, but F you and the Pacers. But get well soon. But, we don't want to see anybody get hurt. We just want them to lose. But Cena came out, threw the ring steps right at Cody, and hilarious. He just hit him with the damn ring steps. Cena took a crutch from Tyrese Halliburton, stepping into the steps with it, hit him with the steps, but he bounced. He shoved Cody off the top rope outside the ring. Cena then launched the steps into him on the outside. Both men eventually grabbed steel chairs, hitting each other with the chairs messing up their hands. Cena's chair landed. Cena's chair, and he hit Cena's chair away and landed a shot in the back. Cena hit the 5-knuckle shuffle, but Rhodes stormed back with a Cody cutter for a near fall. Cena had his own comeback with an AA also for a near fall. More back and forth led to Rhodes hitting a power driver, and this was when things got good because he hit the power driver, and that was like, oh, we throwing power drivers out there now? That's what we doing? So Cena played possum after the power driver, spinning up and hitting another attitude adjustment. And Cena would then go on to hit a code red on the outside, which was, I was like, a code red? Haven't seen Cena do that in a long time. And we spilled to the outside. So while we were on the outside, he threw him into the barricade. Code red, my bad. Cleared off the commentary test, putting Rhodes through the Spanish announce table with a attitude adjustment off the goddamn table. And it is at this point right here. It was at this point I was like, oh shit, this is already better. This is already better than the other freaking thing. So he threw him back in the ring, but he got hit with a crossroads, another attitude adjustment. Just couldn't get the job done for Cena. Cena brought a table into the ring, but Rhodes flipped out of the way and hit a DDT. The match spilled out into the arena and near the crowd. And this is when I really was loving this match. I really, at this point, when they went in that little circle around the crowd, I was like, yeah, I love this match. This match is great. So they went onto the barricade. They disappeared into the stage entrance. First of all, there was a suplex onto a guardrail, which looked like it sucked for John Cena. He got suplexed into the guardrail. And then they went through the entrances, and what happened was they went to the Cody Vader, you know, the elevator strictly made for Cody. And Cena had Cody on his arms like this. And coming up the ramp, just looking like and smiling. That's going to be a visual. That's going to be a meme. That's definitely going to be a meme. So he hit him with another attitude adjustment on the entrance ramp, tried to drag him down the entrance ramp, but you don't want him to scratch up his back. So he kind of picked him up and rolled him all the way down. There was a table propped into the corner, and he hit a crossroads for yet another 2 count. And then Rhodes unscrewed the turnbuckle, and he hit Cena in the head multiple times. Hit him once, hit him twice. Cena avoided the 3rd shot and attempted to hit an STF with the rope, kind of how he choked out Umaga. And I think they referenced that on commentary. He choked the hell out of Umaga. Rest in peace. But I think Umaga got legit hurt by that damn STF. But he broke free, and he hit a trio of crossroads, and Cena kicked out again. So it was at this point that the crowd is going crazy. They start chanting Super Cena. Now, stop the show. Imagine if they had done this heel turn in 2011, 2012, when they were supposed to do this, when they were shoving Cena down our throats and we hated him, even though we should have hated Vince. And imagine if they did the heel turn, they did the slow burn, and he was getting these types of reactions in 2012. It would have made perfect sense because he was Super Cena back then, and he was still beating everybody. Now, obviously, it makes sense for the story, but I'm just like, damn, imagine if they would have done this when we actually wanted to boo him, where it was legit. Half the crowd liked him and half the crowd didn't. I was like, man, it just makes me think about 2012. But I digress. So, Super Cena chants come out. So, after that, Rhodes grabs the title belt, but Cena ducked it. Why? Because Cody said, I'm not missing my shot. I hesitated. I lost. I'm not hesitating again. He got hit with 2 attitude adjustments before a 3rd one from the 2nd rope. And it was at this point, even I was like, is he keeping the title? But no, Cody Rhodes kicked out. Man, oh man, this was absolutely crazy. I was just like, keep fighting, y'all. This was giving me not quite as violent, but this was giving me Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens vibes. When they just kept upping the ante, they just kept doing crazier and crazier shit. Obviously, they weren't doing crazier and crazier shit. It was like, there's a time and place for the big move, kick out, big move, kick out. There's a time and place for it. And this was the time and the place. It made sense for this story. So Cody Rhodes finally put away. Cody Rhodes finally put him through a table with a Cody cutter. Now, I don't know what the hell that Cody cutter was. But Cody took the worst of that. But Cody hit a Cody cutter, a super Cody cutter through the table. One final crossroads. And with the salute, the crossroads, and the 1, 2, 3. This match was fantastic. I mean, this was John Cena, AJ Styles level good. And we already talked about what happened after that. They talked, they hugged. This was great. I am grateful for John Cena. I appreciate him. Why? Because he came in last night and he was like, we're going to put on the show. And he put on the show. And John Cena is one of those people. It's like because they shoved him down our throats for so long. And it's like we wanted other people, they gave us John Cena. We wanted somebody else, they gave us John Cena. And he was beating people that he should have lost to. You don't realize how good the brother actually was. Like, he was really good for a really long time. I first realized it. I was like, damn, I got to put some respect on his name when he fought AJ Styles. When he beat AJ, when AJ beat him and then he had to run it back, and that match was also great. I was like, man, we got to start appreciating John Cena, man. Like, we got to start appreciating him. But excellent main event. The main event saved this goddamn show. Saved it. 100%. Because this show was a solid mid until the main event. The main event put it up to a B. So let's keep it going. We're going to go backwards through the card. So Dominic Mysterio beats AJ Styles. The funniest spot here, this was a good match. First of all, this was a solid match. But the best spot to me here was a tribute to Eddie Guerrero 20 years after they fought over Dominic's paternity. Fought over Dominic, Eddie Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio. He does the Eddie Guerrero spot where he hits the thing, throws the chair at AJ, goes on the floor. AJ kind of opens the chair, puts it on himself, and he starts twitching like he hit me, I hit him. The ref doesn't know what the hell's going on. This was hilarious. But what we didn't see was he goes for another calf crusher, and the boot comes off. And while the boot comes off, the ref flies. What the hell was that? So somebody was at my door. So while the boot comes off, the ref flies into the corner, and Dominic picks up the boot, whacks him over the head, hits the frog splash, and gets the win. But you don't see that Dominic unzips his boot, and that's how it came off during the calf crusher. And I think that's the same way. I want to say Eddie Guerrero won a match back in the day. So very, very good. Dope stuff. It was fun for what it was. And they're probably going to run this back, and AJ's going to beat him in one of those overseas shows. So I ain't mad at it. Now we have Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Oh, boy. Listen, I love me some Jacob Fatu. I love Jacob Fatu. I love Solo Sikoa. His character work. I love Solo's character work. But the only reason for this match was so that Jacob Fatu can do a moonsault off the top of the cage. And he's a rather large man. And I feel sorry for Tonga Loa because Tonga Loa caught a knee to the face. And I hope he's okay because he got wiped the fuck out. But the only reason for this match was for that. They could have put this as a main event on SmackDown, and it would have did just as good. This didn't need to be on the show. Solo retains. Basically, everybody got involved at the end of this match, and they handcuffed Solo. They handcuffed Jacob Fatu to the top of the cage. He ripped the damn handcuff off, or the chain link in the handcuff. He ripped it off. Solo tried to escape the cage, and he grabbed him. Tala Tonga, the tall Tongan, he kicked the cage into his face. And he said, why is it every time he does something, the next thing he does is, I'm like, I don't know why he does that. Every time he does a move on the outside, a big boot. He hit somebody with a clothesline. I don't understand why he keeps doing that. But whatever. Talatonga saves Mr. Solo. Solo literally falls out of the cage. And then JC Mateo and Tamatonga Tongaloa, sorry. They are in the cage, and then he does the big moonsault. I didn't like this. I hated this. Even my wife, who, I mean, she's not a wrestling fan, but even she was just like, this is stupid. And then she walked away. I was just like, hopefully they do something better with Solo and they move Jacob Fatu onto bigger and better fish. I wasn't feeling this at all. Becky Lynch outlasts Lyra Valkyria, and she gets the win. The only thing, okay, the match wasn't bad. It's just that a lot of things weren't hitting the way I think they thought it would. And I think it's not their fault. I think it's because we had so much carnage on this card. Like the match before this was the goddamn ladder match. The match before this was a ladder match. So they had the death spot. Like, and I don't think it's their fault that things didn't hit the way I think they thought it would hit, but you got a car crash and then you have to follow that. The crowd is burnt out. The crowd done seen crazy shit. People flipping all over the place. And then now you have to come and tell a story pretty much doing the same thing with tables, ladders, and chairs. And you have to be, innovative and witty about it. It's hard. It's hard. So I'm not faulting these ladies that stuff didn't hit the way they wanted it to. I just think, me personally, they got put in a bad spot. Like, if they had put this on later on in the night, maybe it would have hit better. But shit just wasn't hitting for me. These ladies have such good chemistry. They have never had a bad match, not once, ever, since we've seen them on NXT. So why the hell did they make this a stipulation match? They should have just had another straight up wrestling match and made the best lady win. You could have still had Bayley come out. You could have had a good wrestling match, and then they could have had a good wrestling match, but instead of like a no DQ, which this was, they could have had Becky Lynch try to cheat, and then Bayley saves her at the end, and then maybe Becky Lynch does a ref bump by accident, and then Bayley wakes up from a manhandle slam or something. She wakes up, she grabs the chain around her hand, and then she decks Lyra in the face, and then Becky gets rid of her. Maybe Becky kicks her in the face or something, wakes up the ref, manhandle slam. They could have did all that. They could have finished this with a ref bump and told the same story, but they could have had a beautiful wrestling match instead of having the zip ties, which she kind of turned the zip tie so her hand wouldn't come out because they did a move and her hand came out and she had to put her hand back in. So we saw it. But listen, it is what it is. You gotta adjust. You gotta do what you gotta do. But clearly her hand that came out of the zip ties. So they had a crowbar spot. They had a zip. They tried to have her be the valiant babyface fighting from underneath. And I wasn't mad at it. Everything was great. Everything was great. And then Becky Lynch was going to murder her with a crowbar. Murder. I say murder. But Bayley comes, saves her. They brawl out. She wants Becky to hit her with the crowbar. She doesn't do it. And all of this culminates into Lyra Valkyria finally cutting through the damn zip ties. And she's going for her finish. And she's going to do it. And Bayley wraps the chain around her hand and decks Lyra right in the face. Bayley gets kicked out of there. Manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. She retains. So this was good. This was a good match. It just, something was missing. Something was missing. So now Lyra cannot challenge for that title until Becky loses it. So Lyra will probably be looking for vengeance on Bayley very, very soon. All right. Car crash. Car crash. White 6 versus the whole tag team division. So I'm going to talk about the big shit that happened, and then I'm just going to tell you this match was amazing. This was besides the main event, my match of the night, because I just wanted to see a spot fest car crash, and that's what I got. And I was telling y'all on my last video, I said, this is the match I'm looking forward to the most. Why? Because it's going to be ape shit crazy. All of these dudes are going to go out there and show us why SmackDown's tag team division is amazing. Wyatt Six, Fraxium, DIY, Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns. I love their entrance, by the way. Who else? I'm missing somebody. Okay, it'll come to me. But all I want to tell you is when they started doing the jump shit, Fraxium was cut off by the ladder. They tried to climb the Andrade and Rey Fenix. That's the 16. First of all, they had a dope spot where Andrade and Rey Fenix, Andrade threw him up on his shoulders and Rey Fenix touched the titles and he almost grabbed him. That was cool as hell. I've never seen that before. That was dope. So shit started getting crazy after this. So DIY tried to send Montez Ford into the corner where there was a table there. But instead, because Montez Ford has a 50 freaking inch vertical, I don't know if he really does, but he got hops and hang time. He jumps over the table and the steel rod and lands onto a bunch of mother effers. He lands all over everybody. So then they had 4 consecutive ring spots. So they had him first. Then they had Montez first. They had, I think, Gargano second. I think it was Gargano second. They had somebody else third. And then the last spot was Angelo Dawkins was going to jump onto Tommaso Ciampa, but Axiom jumped up there. And I said, legit, I was like, they're not going to do a Spanish fly onto that table, are they? They're not going to do it. I was like, they're too far. They're too far. And lo and behold, their asses did a Spanish fly onto that table. Tommaso Ciampa barely gets out the way. And Axiom's leg hit the damn barricade. Hopefully he's okay. But that shit looked gnarly. And the crowd is going, I see people in the crowd going like, oh my God. People are going crazy for this. Everybody's like, people are cheering, people are clapping. I don't know what's going on. People are going ape shit. So then we got the ladies, Candice LeRae, B-Fab, Nikki Cross, all get involved in the match, where eventually Candice LeRae's on the table. Nikki Cross pushes it over. I think it was Nikki. She pushed it over. And Candice LeRae was supposed to go through a ladder bridge, but she didn't turn, or she didn't go through it like shoulder first or back first. She went through it leg first. Candice LeRae is fucking crazy. She's crazy. That was a crazy. I legit was like, even my wife, I'm watching these pay-per-views and my wife doesn't like wrestling, but she likes certain parts. So she likes the ladies. Obviously, she's a woman, and she likes the TLC matches because they're crazy. I saw her scrolling TikTok and she said, with her mouth open, like, what the hell was that? I was like, oh shit, is she okay? Hopefully, Johnny Gargano looked over there, gave it a thumbs up. Are you okay? All right, cool. And he still went up there to try to get the damn ladder. Oh man! But the Wyatt Six ended up getting involved, and that was crazy. So DIY towards the end, they were about to win, but they got pushed off, and they went through 2 tables that were set up on the outside. And it's crazy. These Slim Jim tables now have little holes, so it's like if you're trying to stack a table on top of another one, it's like insert here, and then they kind of stacked it up like that. That was kind of cool. So kind of cool, now they trying to make them as safe as possible. That's good. You don't want nobody getting hurt. So DIY, they're done. They're out of there. Uncle Howdy, he gets a sunset flip power bomb, and he gets a sunset flip power bomb, and he goes through a ladder bridge. He's out. He's done. He's dead. And the spot of the night, and this happened a little bit after that, because I don't want to miss it, because this is the end of the match. So the spot of the night is Nathan Frazier. So DIY goes up, and Tommaso Ciampa is hanging like the Jeff Hardy edge spot way, way, way back in the day when I was a teenager, and I was like This shit is amazing. So Nathan Frazier is going to spear him like Edge was setting up. Tommaso Ciampa muscle himself up, upside down, and Nathan Frazier tried to hit the spear and flies into nothing. And he's sitting there upside down like this, looking down. And it was at that point I was like, I've never seen this before. This is mother effing amazing. Oh my God. Absolutely ape shit. Crazy. Craziness. So that happened to in the middle of the match. So what ends up happening is sunset flip powerbomb, but Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis return to the ring. They clear things out. They get rid of DIY and they get up there to retain the tag team titles. This was absolutely amazing. I love a good car crash. I really, really do. I really, really love a good car crash. As far as a good TLC match. I know a lot of things have already been done, so sometimes you got to struggle to find new and innovative ways to captivate us because our bloodlust for these TLC matches is crazy. There was a really, really good one in NXT Black and Gold with Ricochet and all of those brothers. This one was good. Anytime there was a really good one with the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros. But yeah, this is crazy. This was nuts. All for it. So, moving on. They opened the show with Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. Now, all of these ladies, badass entrances. Naomi was played to the ring by her father. She looked like she wanted to get a little emotional, but it was very, very badass. I'm not going to lie. All of these ladies, badass. All of these ladies, badass. We like Rhea because she's a badass. We like Io. You know what I'm saying? Io is just crazy. And then I think Naomi's doing the best work of her career right now. And it is well deserved. So things started to break down. Obviously, you're not going to capture that magic, Io and Rhea Ripley, by themselves. You add Naomi to this, you're not going to capture that magic that you captured a month ago or 2 months ago for WrestleMania. You're just not, which is fine. I ain't mad at it. But this match was absolutely excellent. So we pick it up. Rhea and Io each score near falls. Sky hits a poison runner on Ripley with a Rhea with a power bomb before Naomi worked her way back into the match. Rhea drove Sky into the ring post as Sky was looking for the over the moonsault on Naomi. Naomi took advantage of the situation before moving out of the way. Sky hit Rhea Ripley with the moonsault for a near fall. That is how she won the title. That's how Io won the title, if I'm not mistaken. Rhea Ripley hit a riptide on Naomi, but Sky broke up the pin at the last minute. Sky would hit a powerbomb on Ripley outside the ring, dropping Ripley on Naomi, which was kind of crazy. Rhea would go in and hit Sky with the riptide from the second rope, but as she went for the pin, she had the match won. But as she went for the pin, Naomi got a roll-up, grabbed a whole bunch of tights, had the tights all up Rhea Ripley's ass, and she got the win. So Naomi retains, as I predicted she would. This was absolutely great. Amazing, amazing opener. And I ain't mad at it. It was very, very great. Now, let's move on to night one. Let's move on to night one. Where's my night one at? Okay, so night one. First of all, the way I would make this two separate videos, but I'm not. I want to keep it all one video. Night one, Don DeMarco for the ending. I should have had my notes, but my notes were all messed up. So the first thing I'm going to do is, why is it not giving me what I'm looking for? This is crazy. All right, so here we go. All right, So the first thing I will say is the ending was absolutely great. The ending was absolutely great. And I was thoroughly excited because I didn't know what was going to happen. The best thing about this was CM Punk was going for Gunther, and Gunther does not have bad matches. And CM Punk, we really didn't know how this match was going to play out. CM Punk and Gunther was fantastic. Gunther beat the holy F out of this guy. I mean, Jesus Christ. It was like, where's my money? It was like, I'm coming in. He beat the crap out of him, and then finally at the end, he gets the better of Gunther, does something with the table. Because he came up all bloody, he got him back in the ring. He tried to choke him out. He reversed it into a GTS, hit another. Then Gunther kind of stood there like hit him with another GTS, and then that was all she wrote. CM Punk was your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And the beautiful thing about that is he was champion for about 5 minutes until Seth Rollins came out. Now, I was hosting night one, and I legit, me and someone else, we legit was screaming like, we better see Seth Rollins. We better see Seth Rollins, because I just knew he's cashing in, man. I know he is. He has to be. I know there was a lot of talk about, oh, was it a work? Was it not a work? Was it a shoot? Was it not a shoot? And if I'm LA Knight, I'm a little irritated. Why? Why am I a little irritated? Because at the end of the day, that made LA Knight look crazy. I hope they told LA Knight. Now, we don't know what happened backstage. We don't know. Obviously, somebody got wind that this was going to happen. It was going to be an injury angle. So one would hope to God that they actually told LA Knight what was going to happen. So they told them, if they told them what was going to happen and then they went on doing what they were going to do, great. Now, was he legitimately hurt? I think he was. I think he was legitimately hurt. And because he was legitimately hurt, they worked it into the story. I think he needed time off. Maybe he had to get a scope. Maybe he needed rehab. Maybe he needed maybe a minor surgery, something that he could come back from in a month or two, because he hasn't wrestled. He's just been on crutches. So maybe he's still not clear to wrestle, but after maybe 8 weeks, they just needed to do a little something and he's fine. Who knows? But the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, this got to be a work, or he really is hurt, but they just wanted to extend it a little bit. They went about it in a crazy way. They got people talking. So they went about it in a crazy way, but Seth comes out, crowd goes crazy, and CM Punk is sitting there like, God damn it. And then he's like, Paul Heyman's holding up the briefcase, and he's like, you better hold it while you can. Hold it while you can. So he turns around, he's on his crutches, and he hops back. He takes about 5 steps, and then he throws the crutches down. And everybody's like, oh, he's not hurt. And I started screaming at this point, like, oh, hands coming down. He turns around, unbuckles the freaking knee brace. He runs down, and he's like, I'm coming, biatch. Gets in there, ducks. He tries to hit the GTS, doesn't work. He takes the briefcase, and he is beating the shit out of CM Punk. Just beating him, hits him, cashes in, hits the stomp, gets the win. And, we didn't get to see this, but at the end, he goes up the ramp. He talks his junk. They celebrate in the ring. Then, obviously, the show goes off the air. And at the end, he starts swinging that fucking thing, just like he did at WrestleMania when he beat Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. He's just swinging that fucker like this. And I was like, damn, I wish we would have saw that on TV. I ended up seeing it on Twitter. But he starts swinging that thing, and I'm like, Seth Rollins, the heist of the century. Now it's, I guess, the story of the century. I don't know. But this was absolutely fantastic. Great storytelling. Now we'll see. Punk is going to be furious. So we'll see. He was the heavyweight champion. He was world champ for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But they ended it on the bang. And this, like night one, saved. This, like night two, this saved night one. It saved it. Now, the rules of the century. That's what they're calling it. Great. So this was great. So Gunther's great. Everybody's great. So Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Jelly Roll, and Randy Orton. The star of this match was Logan Paul. I have to get that soundbite. Put some respect on my name. Logan Paul with a huge freaking splash onto Jelly Roll towards the end of this match, which was absolutely great. Jelly Roll was doing his thing. He got put through the table. He wanted to start the match. So I like the way they formulated it. He wanted to start the match. He wanted to do what he had to do. Everybody bumped around for him. And it's like they made him look good. Then he gets taken out the match by getting put through that table. Randy Orton hits an RKO, hits a couple of them. And Jelly Roll comes back in, but they got Randy up out of there. And then what did he hit him with? He hit him with something. Logan hit him with something and then hit him with the frog splash to win. And that's not bad. So I like the fact that he had the whole, I can't do it. I'm going to walk out. And he's like, no, I'm going to power up and come back. And then he left and he refused to get taken out and he came back. Logan Paul was all over this match, bumping around, doing what he had to do. Listen, we're going to stop the Logan Paul can't wrestle bullshit. I still hear people saying that on Twitter. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're dumb. Don't say that. Don't say stupid things, people, please. But this was absolutely incredible. Logan Paul did his mother effing thing. And I'm looking for it. Now, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. This match went 10 minutes. 9 minutes or 10 minutes. And I told one of my coworkers that came to my house, I said, this match is going 12 minutes tops. Tops. And I ain't going to lie, they had a decent match. Like, we're not going to sit here and say that, oh, this match was terrible. They had a decent match. Can Jade go 15, 20 minutes? Not yet. She has gotten a little better, but her progress is not. She's got the look. She's got everything but the in-ring. Once she gets the in-ring stuff on point, she's going to be a problem. But I don't think she's ready for that spot. And she hit the jaded but over-rotated, and she loses to the prettiest moonsault ever. And Tiffany Stratton gets the win. Not mad at this. Actually glad it happened this way. Jade is a big star, but Jade got to get the in-ring stuff down. Even Nia Jax. I mean, this run in the ring compared to the last run is night and day. Nia Jax is putting on great matches. And Nia Jax, I'm not saying she's a bad competitor. She's a big girl. She be throwing these girls around. Jade needs to find her stride in the ring. And she's going to be on point. 100%. Tiffany Stratton retains. They announced their attendance. Great. They paid tribute to Hulk Hogan. His son was there. And then we had Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. This match was meh. Zayn had the lead pipe in his hand with a chance to hit Kross, but threw it down outside the ring. Then finished off Kross with a haluva kick for the win. This kind of looks like it looked like Karrion Kross's last match in WWE. If he leaves and goes to TNA, great. If he leaves and does the indies like Matt Cardona, great. But I don't know. Karrion Kross is a very weird case because promos, great. Video packages, great. In the ring, not connecting. And I don't know what it is. But I said that in NXT. I was like, Karrion Kross got the look and he's a badass and he's cool and you know what I'm saying? He got the hot wife. And so it's not like he's not connecting outside the ring. But inside the ring, it just, the fans aren't taking to him. They like him because of the promos and all the other shit. So I'm just like, what is it about him that's not connecting? I don't know what it is. And I hope we find out what it is. Because if this is his last hoorah in WWE, and he hits the Indies or goes to TNA, or don't go to AEW. Please don't. You will get lost in the sauce in AEW. Please don't go over there. Please, please, please don't go over there. Please. But he can do other things, TNA, even NXT, even a run back down there. I don't know. But he's too good to not be connecting. We just needs to put it all together for the fans. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. This was a good match. This all was played up for, can the not friends be friends? Because they're not friends. So they rectified a punch to the face by Alexa Bliss onto Charlotte, and Charlotte saves Alexa by kicking Raquel with the big boot in her face. Roxanne Perez took the what's the hell that move called? Sister Abigail, and that was all she wrote. And they're the new tag team champions, which I knew they would be. So shout out to Charlotte, shout out to Alexa. Let's keep this going. Charlotte Flair, we like her now that she's with Alexa because we love Alexa. We used to hate Alexa too. It's crazy. But I hope they keep this, and I hope they actually do something with the titles. Go defend them on Raw. Go defend them on SmackDown. Go defend them in NXT. I hope they keep this. I hope they keep this going, so the not friends could get some burn all over the place. And we opened the show with your tribal chief and Mr. Main Event, Jey Uso versus Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. The end of this match was absolutely on point because Bronson Reed. First of all, he came out with the shoe follow. I think that's awesome. Roman Reigns' kicks, which he stole, he put them around his neck and called them the shoe follow. So Braun Breaker was about to spear the holy hell out of Jey Uso. Roman Reigns took the bullet, and Jey speared. We got him up out of there, and Bronson Reed got speared and then got hit with the Uso splash, and they got the win. This whole thing was about. Now, me personally, what I would have done is I would have had Roman and Jey lose. Roman's leaving for a while. Jey could take a loss. If you really want to build up Braun Breaker, who was limping around and he had his knee taped up. So I'm hoping he's okay. And it's nothing bad. Nothing crazy. Hopefully he just tweaked his knee. Needs a couple of weeks for that knee to heal up, and then he'll be fine. We don't need Braun Breaker, who's on the cusp of greatness. We don't need him getting hurt. But I would have had them win. But they didn't. They lost. So, but because Seth Rollins cashed in at the end, it makes sense why they lost. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. But that's what I would have done. That's for me. But this was a fantastic open. Crowd was hot and hype for all players involved. We had a spear through the barricade onto Roman Reigns. We had Jey Uso doing his thing as always, as over as ever. And this was a good start to the match. So once again, not going to sit here and say that this was bad. This was awesome. And night one kind of was saved by the main event because the stuff in the middle, it wasn't as filler as night two. So I would favor night one over night two, but the ending of both were great. Both main events were absolutely fantastic. And to me, it makes this overall SummerSlam a solid B. A B for night one, a B minus for night two, solid B. Because we did have quite a bit of filler that didn't need to be on either show. But that was it. So that's all she wrote. What did you think about this in the comments? What did you think about night one? What did you think about night two? Obviously, we spent more time on night one because I wanted to talk about the main event. But all in all, SummerSlam, down the drain, in the pocket, solid show. B, got my love, got my respect, and everybody was doing their thing. So from here at What the Wrestling, RJD, I am out. Everybody be safe, enjoy themselves. I'm gone. Peace.